Hey there, HHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're looking at the 2025 HHD Exam Predictions, and this is relevant for Unit 3 and 4 HHD for the 2025 plus HHD Study Design. Just a reminder before we dive into this video, there's a range of ways you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. If you're on our YouTube channel at the moment, you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there, and that means you'll get alerts to all of our new videos as they come out across the year, especially in the lead up to the HHD exam this year. We've also got our website, the hhd.net.au, where there's opportunities for HHD students and teachers, and some new things have been added there recently. So if you haven't had a look lately, please check that out. Got our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook pages where you can get alerts to our videos and other opportunities, as well as SAC and exam tips and advice and tips in the lead up to the exam this year. I've also got our email info at the hrh.net.au if you'd like to get in touch. Okay, before we dive into this video, just a reminder, especially in the lead up to HHD exam this year, if you're after some same day access to course notes and practice questions across Unit 3 and 4 for all the different areas of study, you can head to our website and you'll see there's a student drop down and you can fill in this form and you'll be able to get access to those. And that's the course notes that are covering all the key concepts as well as the key terms across Unit 3 and 4, and easy, medium, and hard practice questions with sample answers as well. So that's all available on our website. Okay, so before we dive into this video here, obviously, as the name suggests on the title of the video, this is a 2025 HHD exam prediction. So these are predictions that I do not write the exam. I do not know what the questions are on the exam. And so these predictions are based on me looking at recent exams, my knowledge of the current course, and then my own thoughts about what might appear on the exam this year. Hopefully, it goes without saying that you need to revise everything in the Unit 3 and 4 course. So go through all the key knowledge and all the key skills as part of your exam preparation. Do not rely just on these predictions because they are just that, predictions. Okay, so we'll break this into section A and section B. So for section A, these are the things that I think might be more likely to appear on the exam this year. So the first one there is the dynamic and subjective nature of health and well-being. So this is obviously the start of Unit 3. So I'd go over and revise what those terms mean and then what they mean in relation to health and well-being, and know some examples and how to apply that to something like a case study or a scenario. I feel like in relation to the health studies indicators, that infant and under 5 mortality is something that I'd be definitely brushing up on because that doesn't seem to have appeared as recently in exams. Alcohol and Australia's health status. So when looking at some of those factors that influence Australia's health status, I feel like alcohol is something that also hasn't made as much of a prominent splash on the exam in recent years. So that's something I think could be more likely to appear this year. Programs to improve Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's health, including how they promote social justice. So I'll definitely be practicing looking at some different programs and applying, okay, those social justice principles. So I'd revise those principles and how they relate to programs to improve Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's health. And you can go back and have a look at some of our past videos where we've dived into some of this. Health promotion, I think definitely the Ottawa Charter for Action areas come up a lot across Unit 3 Area Study 2. So I'd definitely be across those, but also know some examples of health promotion and how that can improve population health. Once again, you can go back and have a look at some of our past videos related to this. In terms of moving across to Unit 4, so economic sustainability as one of the dimensions of sustainability doesn't seem to have appeared as recently on exams, so I think that's perhaps more likely this year. The importance of the SDGs, and so if you're not sure what that means, once again, we have done previous videos on this. The WHO goal and objectives, so that's had a bit of a refresh, okay, with the revised course this year. So definitely make sure you know that overall WHO goal and the sub goals, and then those 6 different objectives and how to apply those to things like case studies and scenarios, and then the features of effective aid programs. So make sure that you're able to look at some different, okay, aid programs and think about those different features that could apply and how they might make those aid programs effective. A lot of this we've done previous videos on, so if you're wondering, okay, what that might mean, or you're wanting some more sort of info in depth, go back and have a look at some of our previous videos. So that's section A. So then in relation to section B, hopefully you're aware this year in the exam there is obviously section A and section B, and so section B is the 10-mark extended response question, and the VC BCAA put out exam specifications earlier this year, and as part of the criteria, they mentioned that there is a possibility that there will be an overlap, okay, between different areas of study when it comes to this 10-mark extended response question and the types of elements of the course, okay, that could be part of this question. So I've kind of broken this down into sort of two predictions, one that demonstrates some Unit 3 Area Study 1 and Area Study 2 crossover, and then one Unit 4 Area Study 1 and Area Study 2 crossover. So for Unit 3 Area Study 1 and Unit 3 Area Study 2 crossover, perhaps something in relation to the population groups and the factors that contribute to those variations in health status between the population groups. So those are things like the environmental factors, biological, sociocultural, including commercial factors. And then perhaps the Australian health system, Medicare, and the NDIS, including funding and sustainability as factors that are relevant to those elements of the health system, and the benefits of optimal health and well-being as a resource. So you can see that's all kind of focused across either Unit 3 Area Study 1 or 2. So then for Unit 4 Area Study 1 and 2 crossover, so perhaps the global trends of conflict or climate change, they perhaps don't seem to have come up as much in these types of questions previously or in recent years. SDG 3 and then either SDG 1 or 6 is what I'm thinking. So looking there at no poverty and clean water and sanitation. And then the types of aid, so bilateral, multilateral, and aid provided by NGOs, the Australian aid program, and the partnerships involved. So I think potentially that could lend itself to an extended response question. So of course there could be some crossover between Unit 3 and Unit 4, but these are sort of my predictions based on looking at some past papers and the current course this year. Okay, hopefully that is helpful for you in the lead up to the exam to give you a bit of a sense of some things that potentially could come up on the exam. But as I said, make sure you're revising everything across all the key knowledge and skills because you never know what might appear on the exam this year. Just a reminder, you can head to our website if after those course notes and practice questions, or as I've mentioned throughout the year, there is this revision questions book at book.acevc.com that's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions across all the different elements of the course this year. Okay, thanks so much.